Hi friends, I wonder if I'm the only one who feels like the world's gone completely mad. British scientists have once again surprised the world. It turns out that for cancer prevention, you don't need to look for a miracle berry from the Amazon or drink an infusion made of tail of Tibetan yak. All you need is aspirin. Yes, those very same cheap and banal pills we used to take for headaches and as an excuse to say, I'm taking it prophylactically. The team led by Sir John Byrne of Newcastle University observed 860 brave volunteers for 4.5 years. Half of them swallowed 600 milligrams of aspirin daily and simultaneously, by the way, ruined their stomachs. The result was very much in the spirit of British humor. They developed fewer tumors than those who took placebo. And speaking aside, almost certainly more stomach ulcers. Meanwhile, London researcher Jack Cusick decided that breast cancer could be fought with tamoxifen, a drug that reduces breast tissue density. And indeed, the risk dropped by as much as 63%. True, the side effect of tamoxifen is such that cancer, by comparison, looks like one of the leisure options. But who cares if the numbers look impressive? The Americans, of course, didn't stay aside. Paul Goss and his team from Massachusetts General Hospital confirmed the results. After all, without the American approved stamp, British discoveries don't count as real science. In the end, in the 21st century, we've returned to the good old pills. Everything ingenious is simple, and everything simple is inevitably comes with a catch. Making tough decisions is a dubious pleasure. And of course, there is no such thing as the perfect time for it. But if you really want to, you can look for the so-called hours of wisdom. Many believe that destinies are best decided early in the morning while coffee still kicks in and your eyes haven't glued shut. Others insist it's after lunch, when the stomach has successfully dealt with the cutlet and is ready to share some serotonin with the brain. However, as shown by a study by Professor Shai Danzinger of Tel Aviv University, things are simpler. The fate of prisoners depends on not so much the letter of the law, but on how recently the judge has chewed on a sandwich. In the morning or right after lunch, the chance of parole rises like yeast. But toward midday, the mercy graph steadily declines. Judges, it turns out, are people too, hungry and grumpy. The real key to justice is a sandwich and a cup of coffee. Want mercy from the court? Check the cafeteria menu and time your case for the after desert time, if it's possible. So if you suddenly have to make an important decision, whether it's changing job or choosing curtains color, eat first. But be careful, a too heavy lunch can turn you from a fair Solomon into a sleepy amoeba, for whom even weighing the pros and cons is already a too heavy task. An option for aesthetes. Make a simple decision like socks, tie, roll to the office in the evening. But if life suddenly demands a global choice, what will save you is not your willpower, but a humble sandwich. It turns out that even bacteria are not immortal. They also have old age, only it looks different than ours. While we argue about whether they age or are immortal, scientists from the University of California found out during division the mother bacterium shares not only life but also garbage. And like any loving mother, she generously dumps all the junk, damaged protein, and other molecular debris into one daughter. Congratulations, girl, you're already an old lady from the start. The other one, however, comes out of the maternity ward fresh, as if it's straight from a probiotic yogurt commercial. No wrinkles, no traces of fatigue, ready for new feeds. Fairness? No. Evolution. Symmetrical division? Ha ha ha. Reality is much more prosaic. The mother bacterium simply turns a lottery. One gets youth and a chance for a new life, the other a bag of molecular problems. Evolution doesn't care that the unloved daughter feels worse. It only cares that at least someone continues the race. So bacteria also age, only they do it stylishly and mockingly. Both worse. Why let one suffer badly while the other thrives? Evolution, like a strict accountant, doesn't waste energy on fairness. Its formula is simple. One goes negative, the other goes positive. And symmetrical division is just a myth for school textbooks. The pity is that some politicians act in the same way. No fairness needed. Let's support one country and the other one is simply unlucky, it gets nothing. But those powerful politicians should still remember that they are not bacteria and that their actions should be guided by their humanitarian values accumulated throughout human history. In boutiques, car dealerships, beauty salons, and other temples of capitalism, an ancient ritual awaits you. A small gift. A cup of tea before a haircut, a couple of candies on a bowl by the cash register, the compliment from chef on a plate, and suddenly you are no longer a customer, but a grateful debtor. Your brain, hardwired by millions of years of evolution, reacts to freebies the same way a tribe once reacted to a piece of banana from a chief. Oh, this is an invitation to cooperate. Only back then you shared the hunt, and now your money. The debt has to be repaid with an extra purchase, indulged towards the price tag, or a glowing review for friends. Marketers, of course, know this and cleverly exploit your built-in monkey protocol. One cup of coffee and goodbye discount on common sense. So if you don't want to fall into the freebie trap, remember this simple rule. In this world, the only thing truly free is cheese in a mousetrap, and even that not always. Marketers and businessmen know this better than the multiplication table. That's why everywhere where money is expected from you, they first feed you. Not because they like you, but because your brain willingly put on the harness. So if you're once again offered just to try or accept a compliment from the establishment, remember, you're not at a generous auntie's house where you are in a mousetrap. Free cheese? Sometimes. But the exit from this mousetrap? Never. What do you think about it? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, my friends. Share them down in the comments. I'll be reading them all.